Guess what, guys? You're back. You've got Lady Hippie at the bar, and as usual, I'm wearing all of the hats up here. My stream seems to want to out at about 17 minutes. So I don't have a prep team here. I just got my dumb ass, and I'm having some problems with that. I'm trying to move that a bit. In any event, hey, what's up, everybody? And it is still for entertainment purposes only. I was not here with y'all for about a year, and if you've seen the last couple of four, you can get those explanations. Basically, had a really bad injury, and it took me 10 months to get on my feet. So I know everybody missed me so bad. Trying to get one get well card. My husband did not get me one. So I'm so popular, right? For those of you who are seeing this, feel sorry for me, please. I don't make money on these things, but I'm not averse to it. I just there was the other thing I was trying to explain yesterday, and I probably talked too fast, too close to this thing. And I'm from Chicago, so I have a northern accent. Forgive me. I had been telling everyone, or tried to. I get sidetracked easy, as you can tell. Put my music down a little bit further. I like some music. We are at the bar. This is at my house. We're at the bar. We don't want to talk about certain things. No kids are allowed. We can talk about most of it. I have had an offer to a position with a particular clothing line. Um, Perhaps I will get a position. It's kind of like what would I call it? Now I'm talking about. I can't remember the word I'm talking about. Reviews. I'd be doing clothing reviews. So I'm hoping nobody up here sees me in more than one thing ever. I hope not to repeat certain outfits because I certainly don't need to. As my husband can attest to. Basically, I almost opened up another. It's like I said, it's been a year, and I'm having the worst time through this. So I'm going to call this Lady Hippie at the Bar 1. If it goes off, look for part 2. It's the only time I'd be wearing the exact same thing, just to bring that home. And yes, I do have a daily stiffener. My family's, I was adopted. They were World War IIers, World War Iers, Depression era. Dad worked in the CCC camps. So that kind of dates me a little bit. But they would always pass out. They'd bring them to and give them a snifter, brandy, whiskey, whatever the men had. Women didn't drink back then. If they did, I didn't know any of them. So I like to get a little stiffener while I'm up here at my bar. Then I have to go on and do the rest of the stuff that I really don't want to do. And it's hard to do because you say that you're actually retired and it's, yeah, right. Everybody's retired knows what the hell I'm talking about. So I guess you do see a headband up here because it's the way I can hold my earphones on. Catch you up about me. I am an Army veteran, mother to one, grandmother to two, and my grandson, he was born first, and his half sister was born 13 years later, which is still hysterically funny. He's also an Army veteran. He enlisted in the Army because he said his grandma wore Army boots and he wanted to give it a shot. He's now out of the Army. He did his time. He did his time. He did well. He was stationed out in Korea, and I was stationed out in the European theater. And so it was nice that he got to go see the world for a little bit. He is now still at the base working here. In fact, so does my son and his wife. So, yeah, everybody's at the base. It's like I've always been next to a base. I've lived here the longest. I've lived here for 14 years. And we moved here when they were expecting my granddaughter. By then, my grandson's getting up there. And so, yes, so we moved here. We downsized a lot. Doesn't look like it, except through some of the house. It's getting a little cluttered with me down for a year. So I figure in 2029, I might have the corners of this house clean. Wouldn't bet on that. Wanted to touch on a couple of things. Jump in here. I've got live chatting. You can comment. You can throw shit at the screen. I don't care. They like the algorithms, whatever the hell that is. I assume they mean somebody's watching. And for me, I really don't edit these guys. I just do this and I kind of go on with my day because I have a lot of friends and I've asked them, to come on with me. Do a question answer kind of thing or just whatever they, was on the news thing. But news also dates me, there is. I haven't found a news organization. I give CBN, the Christian Broadcast Network, I give them the best rating as far as news. Really, it's political news. They call it legacy media. Yeah, I'll go with that. It works. But what I mean is things that are going around in a daily manner. And we have this great thing that they call YouTube. And so I'm thinking, hey, why don't we get up here and do this? And as I said, you'll see me adjusting things. Um, I was severely injured, and uh, things haven't changed. The only thing I noticed was the fact that my YouTube is cutting off again. I don't know why. Again, part one. If I have to come back, I usually throw an hour in here, so it may be in segments till I figure this shit out. And I started typing on a manual typewriter. So you can imagine, we saw all this invented, and then we're actually retired. It's been the damn same, basically, definitely since 2015. The only thing new that I've seen really is a Chromebook, and it's a laptop. So it's, don't need that now with these new phones. My phone's a damn phone. I'm just happy I can carry it with me. I had a landline for like 6 years, and finally we're getting the bills and we're like, there's no calls. Not going in, not going out. Finally, I was like to my husband, I was like, I think we can get rid of this. We don't need this no more. Plus, we were bleeding through the nose paying for the phones back them days. So there's a lot going on the planet, but at least they are not tasing parents anymore, pepper spraying them and dragging them out of the auditoriums. That's a bonus. That's a good thing. Truthfully, I gotta say, I still think the ballot is supposed to be a secret ballot. I don't think you're supposed to run around with hats and signs on and stickers. And what's the point? If you can't keep your vote secret, then they're buying votes, in my opinion. When you have to have an organization that votes first, the Electoral College, as to who the president will be. And I keep hearing even President Trump, and I got to admit, I like him. I found out he was funny on the podcast. He's flipping funny. But even he walks around saying he won the Electoral College by 276. But I also won the popular vote. And I'm like, what the hell does that mean? Huh? So the Electoral College is representing what their district they represent will vote for Texas or wherever they're at. Well, one, I'm not a registered shit because I don't believe in that. I still believe in a secret ballot. I know that as sure as I can spell my name, that they had a double sometimes on Biden, which was another reason he didn't know where to go. And the real Biden just kept trying to sit down in the air chair that nobody could see, or wandering off into the jungle until somebody at the golf course turned him around. But I've been screaming for that for 4 years. That was treason. It's been treason. What they did to General Flynn, they should be lined up and shot. If you can do that to a general people, think what they can do to us. And then go read Orwell's 84 again, or for that matter, Escape from New York. That's the one that's coming. I mean, the first thing I thought of in the past 2 years, I guess it was, that, oh my God, this is going to be Escape from New York. Because I was watching them do this smash and grab and looting cars and setting them on fire. And it's totally was Escape from New York. The only difference being right now, you can actually go in and out. In the movie, it's just a prison. It's got to be like 3 seconds away from that now. If it's not, I don't know how anybody's still living there. Toothpaste is locked up. Otherwise, they'll smash and grab that and sell it back to you on the sidewalk. And don't you notice where I won't buy my ice? I want to get everything from them. My toothpaste and all that stuff. I want to go to them folk that are sitting there that stole it and they're sitting there on the sidewalk saying, I got this for 50 cents. And I'll be going, no, I don't care how bad I need toothpaste. I'm not buying stolen crap. Maybe they'd stop that crap. I highly doubt that crap. Mm, I love that. My mimosas too. I love the little glass I use sometimes. And my little cup is from my son. You see, we got to move it for Mother's Day. It's quite lovely little cup. And I have a bit of, but my screen's so small I can't really see it. But I've got a lovely lit rose beside me. Also a Mother's Day gift. See what else I wanted to get off my chest. I actually made bulletproof notes. I don't do that always. I also don't bring in extra people to talk on my show. I figure I'm bad enough. Might hurt them if they were up here and I'm like talking. No, you want to know about that, you'll catch it anyway. Because if some podcaster isn't doing it, well, it's on CNN or some of this legacy media. I don't. I quit watching it 15, 20 years ago. So yes, I've been having the funniest time with Donald Trump. I love the Rose Garden, and they're all having fits. I don't know at what point they think that the Capitol should be updated. the The White House would fit into Putin's living room. It is time to expand out the White House to make it a little bit better. It's the 21st century. There are certain things that should be going on with the White House. It shouldn't be the same thing as Thomas Jefferson used, admittedly not having the bowling alley or Obama's secret tunnels or what have you. Just a lovely place where people can dress up and go see the president, talk to each other. Don't allow the lobbyists in there. Do us all a favor. And if the lobbyists show up either in D.C. at all, specifically at a party in D.C., get one of them paint guns so everybody will know it's a lobbyist. Everybody. Be going, I want to talk to him or her. I would. I give them all paintball guns. Get them. First off, I was assuming they would need the invitation first, at least back in my day. Uh, I, I went to the $100 plate dinners or 174, whatever the heck it was. The ex mother in law used to do that. We worked there. We ran pretty much the whole place at the agricultural place, so she could go places that about anyone. We had high clearances. So my son, which surprised me. So yeah, I mean, I've been to the White House, I've been around the White House, seen the White House, did that, done that. Yeah. Was so disappointed. This back in the 80s. I know the first time I got off in the 80s holding my son, I looked around the airport as I was moving through to the baggage claim, and I said, oh my God, we're going to get hit with a terrorist attack. They're going to hit us. And I thought that because I had flown there not long before they hit the Roma airport and killed everyone in there. And I was literally in that airport and leaving just before that. And so, I got off and all these things were going on in restaurants and there's bars. And I'm like, and I'm cradling, at that point, my child was like 2 or 3 months old. He was born in Heidelberg, Germany. And I had come in for, I think, Christmas or something. I don't know. And so I'm thinking I need to duck and cover and low crawl over to baggage. All those army things come in your head. You're like, I have no weapon. Can't throw the kid at them. Of course, it took till 90. Well, Oklahoma City, they declare it that, but you might as well. It was a traitor at the very least. And yeah, and they hit us 96, and it was the U-Haul bomb that they went to get them. This was funny to me. They went to get their deposit back, and that's how they caught the idiots. I mean, and luckily that I don't think that hurt anyone. I think, well, I'm sure it scared people who couldn't breathe and all that. The tunnels underneath there, sustained the damage and held it. But of course, in 2001, we had the horrific 9/11 event. This is the other reason I can't understand how the October 7th, 23 attack and unarmed kids dancing in the desert and unarmed people in what, like me, is a suburb. They call them kibbutzes. We call them suburbs. It's the same damn thing, people. If you live in a suburb, you get in your vehicle and you drive around. You can drive around for an hour or so before you can leave if you want to. There's that many folk in there. And it's a subdivision. Ain't no different. So they went up against all these unarmed people and just murdered, slaughtered, raped, pillaged, done whatever they wanted, beheaded, burning kids. It's just, what? And then I saw that these kids were at a dance in a desert because it's kind of linked in for me. I was just glued. I was so angry and wishing I was 20 again because I'd have got a ticket to Israel. But I saw that there was a chain link fence. I said, a chain link fence. And this is a couple of kilometers from these kids, these Israeli kids, and they're saying they want to kill everybody who lives in Israel. It's a chain link fence. Oh my God. And then, of course, some of the GoPro footage was coming in as they were cutting in, just driving in. As hang gliders were coming in, the kids were waving at them and thinking it was, while they gunned them down because they thought it was part of the show that morning. And over 1,200 of them died, trying to get their cars, trying to get out, trying to do anything. Cars were set on fire after they killed them, and maybe even before they killed them. We're not, you know. And it's so bad. It's so bad that the Israelis have given the world a kindness by not releasing all of the footage from that day. And that's most kind of them to not do that because the images just I've heard of what was done is beyond a beggar's belief. It really does. And this is evil, folks. This isn't about a religion, which I understand throughout the centuries. That's what they've always said. Well, we had this religion and that religion because Christianity this or Muslim this or really. I can't find anywhere where it says you have to kill everybody. It's supposed to be like love your neighbor and stuff. I mean, the Quran's not that much different than the Bible anyway. Talks of Jesus, Mother Mary. It's a beggar's belief to me that anybody can do this, period, and then base it on a religion. And then I find this because I hadn't been paying attention with the wounded leg and everything. Um, that I really wasn't trying to put up with the politics after I'd seen what happened on October 7th. I had already injured myself pretty bad by then. And since I couldn't actually get up and do something, which is what I do when I get upset, I clean the house, I do all that stuff. Probably like everybody else does. You just get busy so you're not thinking about it because you can't go shoot nobody. They frown on that. So I was hoping to get some feedback on that end. Um, I'd also like to think what everybody else thinks about the new president. It's his second term, but he had a hiatus between the two terms. And I'm wondering if that's covered. Since he's not doing 3 terms in a row, could he run a third time? Because he's not running 3 times in a row. I don't know. I don't know what will happen at the end of his presidency, but right now I have to admit that I fear what's going on. And I'm grateful to see what he has done to alleviate it. I'm entirely grateful to see all of these mass murderers and so forth and so on be caught and gotten out of here. Alligator Alley cracked me up. I call it Gitmo and Gator Gitmo. That's mine. Don't plunder that. That's mine. That's Gator Gitmo. They all say I'm not quite right. It's just, and the senator tell me almost every day that he saw me back then. The Watergate Hotel still stood. It's where we all went to have a drink. It was kind of like a 2 martini lunch thing. It was you had to. He told me every time he saw me, "You got to get out of here. They're gonna kill you." Apparently, they do not like dissension in the ranks, even as a civilian. So I was hoping to touch on those few bases as well. I can't understand the role of either UN or NATO. I don't see them. I don't see either one of those organizations doing anything ever, no matter what it is that's happening around the world, be it a tsunami that wiped out 250,000 people, be it a war, literally, where there was no aggression, but there is a war now with you, and nobody speaks about the Ukraine-Russia war anymore. A million people dead, 1.5 million people dead. Nobody has spoken about the fact that, truthfully, I believe that Trump has actually earned his Medal of Honor, Medal for Peace, the Nobel Peace Prize. That's the one I'm thinking of. It just makes me angry to think what's actually going on, and no one seems to have a problem with. Um, that one gets me, but I'd like to hear what everybody else has to say. We've all got our opinions, and I love hearing all of them. That's why it's called Anything and Everything. I couldn't think of any way to actually slow it to a point or cut it off at a certain point. Maybe that's the word I'm looking for. I wanted everybody to get up here and use this while we still have it, while it still doesn't cost us anything, to get up here and say, okay, this senator right here, let's go with Nancy Pelosi. Gotta love her. Got there in 86. She's now nearly worth $500 million, but she's not doing insider trading. Just that husband is just that good. Yeah. Yeah. Who believes that? Go ahead. I got time. I can wait. You're not a damn soul. And if you do believe that, please go to Nancy Pelosi's and ask for a job. Why were they sending taxpayer money to Guam so they could get free rubbers, or however that went? Why were we paying Social Security to somebody who is 9 months old? Nobody could pick that up. Nobody went. Nobody? How could you be paying Social Security to somebody who's 306 years old? Nobody could catch the math on that. I'm telling y'all, I kind of use a calculator to go 2 plus 2, and it'll still be off because I hit the wrong button or some shit. But I think the answer's still 4, just from basic math. So, and nobody went. How long did Moses live? I mean, that's a question I probably would have been asking anybody. It's crazy. And then I hear they beat the 19-year-old boy up, that they made a joke out of it, called him Big Balls. Apparently, a girl was getting hurt, and he stepped in. That's a man. That's a gentleman. But this is a 19-year-old boy. This is a 19-year-old boy, folks. There should be some protesting about that shit. There should be some protesting out in front of these hotels with the American flag flying and asking, why the hell do we have homeless veterans in the streets when you can put the guy from Guatemala up at a 5-star hotel on our money and we can't even stay there? I mean, seriously, at what point does everybody get pissed off about that? So apparently the ones that can protest, we know that they're being paid to protest. I mean, all the damn signs are the same and all that shit. Stupid as shit. You can tell which ones those are. Those are the ones that tear shit up and do the smash and grab and all that. They're the ones that, yeah, whoever's funding that shit. And it makes me so mad. And I like Cash, Jordan Hay Cash. Shout out, babe. Douglas Murray is one of my favorites. Is also, hey, Doug. I'm sorry. I don't know you. Sorry, Mr. Moore. But I just adore him. Professor Victor Davis Hanson. If you've never heard of him before, or Douglas Murray before, look him up. I promise you, you will be at least watching them when they come up on some program on YouTube. I catch them on YouTube, and they're amazing men. Absolutely amazing men. Professor Hanson is a historian. Um, I guess you would say he's also a classicist because he knows Latin, Greek, so forth and so on. And he's taught this for years and years. Um, Amazing man, absolutely amazing, and he barely made it, as from what I can understand, through his professorship. I'm not sure which one it would have been. There, it's one school that he does like, but you'll have to see it or send me a comment, and I will try to open this poor brain of mine or pop it up. But those are some recommendations if you'd like them. I was not. I love Joe Rogan. Hey Joe, I was a little unhappy with him with the interview with Douglas Murray. I didn't like how there he let his friend. I can't recall his name. Just and he was angry. He would get angry and just spit a lot of stuff at Douglas like it all these people, all these kids are dying, and this isn't going to, like, almost like Douglas was responsible. And I was really surprised that that was allowed to happen on Joe Rogan's show. Joe wasn't really saying anything, but a couple of times he did say that. I can't think, there was some young man, he was saying, oh, he didn't say that, or he didn't mean that when he wrote it, or something along that line. They were discussing a particular person. And again, I can't really, I'm bad on names. So hit me in the comments, live chat, something, and I'll look it up, throw it in there, and remind myself. But that was, I'm sorry to say, I almost stopped watching you, Joe. That was not done well. There was no integrity in that, Joe. And I had thought you to be a true gentleman. I didn't find that fair. And I've watched you since you were on one of the radio, something radio. Anyway, a long time, since the 80s. And I followed and so forth. And I was even going to unsubscribe because it was just, I felt it was unfair. I didn't see Douglas Murray lose his temper one time, but you never do. Douglas is that good. He's just that good, and he's been to those places. And so when you're taking your value from news stories that everybody and God can tell you they're lying. If they're writing for the New York Times, I don't care. They're liars. They're liars. They make up this. They do whatever they want. They took down a 4-star general using the media. And another reason I loved your show, I actually saw President Trump on your show. I watched the whole 3 hours, and it was great. I've watched many of your guests for 2 hours or 3 hours, many times over the years. So I think you should apologize to Doug Murray, though. I really do. Yes, I think everybody has the right to their attitudes, but I don't think it should be expressed during a technical debate. But that's just me. um, Again, you don't see me drop videos. What you see is what you get. If you want to talk to me, great. If you don't, great. Again, I don't make no money at this shit, so I could give a rat's ass. I mean, this is the other thing I love about this. So get up there, talk to me, talk to yourself, talk to somebody. I get that question a lot. How do you talk to everybody? And I'm like, I just get up there and spout off at the stuff that makes me just a little bit angry or a lot angry that I feel that somebody should speak about. So I go off and I try to do that and see how many of you will speak back to me. I have several hundred working on my first 1,000, but then I took a year off. So that explains that. That'd be my husband leaving. God only knows where. Luckily, the way I'm sitting, you can't see the front door because he probably didn't even try to ring me since my phone's right here too. You get so many years in a marriage, girls, and you wonder if you couldn't have done better. Mm. Yeah, I suppose that goes for the boys too, right? Ah, just a little orange juice. I'm not that having. Actually, it's mimosa. I enjoy my time sitting up here. That's the other thing people can't figure out. I do have enough equipment. I can set up actually 3 guests, but most of the people I'm asked to be my guests go, "Hey, What are you going to keep the name Little Lady Hippie at the Bar? I'm like, I'm a lady, I'm a hippie, I'm at the fucking bar. What the hell do you want? No, I'm not changing it. Why? Why would I do that? Well, Lady Hippie denotes there you probably get high, and at the bar kind of denotes you stay drunk and high. I said, well, I've been watching these new podcasts, or at least new to me, and I've actually seen others that are at a bar. They've made it a bar, or they're on couches, but they have their whiskey or whatever it is they're selling. Uh, Basically, a bar. I don't see any point changing that, And so I'm, I told him I'm not going to change it. You don't want to come out, that's fine. If you do, that's fine. I just wanted to talk and get, another person's point of view. Am I the only one that's going, what the hell? What the hell? We watched Seattle burn. I watched them paint Black Lives Matters on the street in front of the White House. Go back to your country and try that. We'll count, see how long you get. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3 seconds. And then women run around out there with them little, what are they? Focus, whatever they are. The little headscarves that the men wear. I have yet to see one of the women wear that. They'll probably shot as they get off the plane just because it's around their neck. And you Lydia women, if you won't listen to anyone else, learn for yourself from the women who have escaped from these places, from those men. Look at the women. Listen to the women who have gotten away from Sharia law and listen to what happened to them. Why don't you listen to the 10-year-old that was made a bride of one of the princes, because they're allowed to do that until from the child's age being 9 and older. How many of them are walking around us? A lot of them. So if you don't believe me and all this burqa crap, listen to some of the women who ran away and made it. There have been many that were dragged off planes, kicking, screaming. Nobody tried to help them. They're dead. No, they would never be seen again. And that's also discussed by the women who made it. They didn't know if they were going to their deaths, because if that plane didn't leave, if those guys got on it to get them, they were dead. So it was like the Berlin Wall and trying to get over or around the bitch. Some of you made it. Some of you got killed. They shot you. It's the same thing for a woman. Look it up if you don't believe some of us who are talking about it. And what the hell is with the view? Does it say somewhere you've got to be 94 to have a non-intelligent discussion and insult every guest you have that comes on, unless they agree with your opinion about the way this or that is? It's still an opinion, ladies. And I really use that term loosely when I'm discussing the view. They're in public. They're not there to give their views. They're there to discuss, I thought, as Barbara Walters said, world views, events, and how women thought about these things. And back when that was started, there really were not that many things about basically women talking to women. There was Oprah. Not that she wasn't good. Just saying. Diana Shore, I remember. I liked Diana Shore a lot. She was a wonderful lady. But they were ladies. Ladies. They did not give up their own opinions, shake, rattle, and roll, storm off sets. They didn't insult guests. They were ladies. And if you're not sure what a lady is, look it up. Watch some old black and white movies, damn it. You'll see a lady. Look up Dinah Shore. Lady, this I don't get where the viewership's going, but I don't get where the hell anybody's going lately. I had a child, only one, but a boy. It's a little different what they learn than what a daughter would learn. My granddaughter is in the, so you can't get anything to her. She, nope, that's it. She's good. I mean, literally, if you get a grunt, what have you, from her, she at least looked up from her phone for a nanosecond or tablet or just, eh. When I was 13, 14 years old, I was just I was a blithering idiot. I mean, but of course, you couldn't have kids inside the house if you had company. Now, if it was your grandparents, which I didn't have, for your parents, which I actually did not have, I had adopted parents for 8 years before I enlisted in the Army. And that was after I graduated twice from high school and had 2 years in college under my belt, which is why I ended up having chevrons and getting in trouble in boot camp. That's another story. Private Benjamin's almost close. And I would have been Benjamin, of course. There's a story there, too. So anybody tell me what they want to talk about, ask me whatever you want to ask me. I can't promise you I'm going to let me an answer, but I can get you to it if I put my mind to it. There's a lot of shit going on out there that should be talked about. Um, Again, I don't know why we're paying NATO and the UN. They don't do shit. They're not helping nobody. They don't ever help nobody. I haven't yet to see it. The only thing the UN did was pretend to send aid, but they were really paying Hamas. And it's not rocket fucking science, people. Come on. And what is it with this? What's his name? Jeffrey Epstein. Did he kill himself? Not kill himself. He's dead. He's dead. It doesn't matter at this point. Maybe it does to Ghislaine. And I couldn't understand how they could do this to her for 20 and put her away for 20 years. This ain't supposed crimes. And yeah, there's pictures of presidents flying with them and so forth. But I didn't see where any of these young ladies were, knocked out, bags over their heads, taped up, took to a plane, get off the plane, and let them out of a bedroom and with no clothes on and call next. I didn't see none of that. What I heard was these women went voluntarily to make money, but it turns out that's not how they made money. Again, 20, 30 years ago? No, I don't agree. I don't, as far as who's going to agree with that. But at the same time, I can't cry rape. These girls, if they didn't know what they were doing on the first trip to the island, when they should have reported the first rape, then they sure as flip knew the second, third, fourth time they went out there that's what went on. And yet, what's his name is dead, and his girlfriend, whatever she was, young lady, looks like she's aged 30 years. I guess she has. But bless her, she's in jail for 20 years. I don't get it. I don't understand it. To me, it's all hearsay. She said, that. What? Did they have evidence that this happened? Did they have anyone other than testimony of 2 or 3 women? Not that I don't back the women. I'm not saying that either. But I'm saying rape is rape. You don't. Why are you waiting 30 years for? And the same thing with the Danny Masterson case. Another reason I couldn't get it. One woman was excused because her testimony just didn't wash or something like that. But again, to me, that was hearsay. She said, he said, she said, he said, and it was from 20 years ago. And yet this man if this had happened, you should have reported it at that point. I do not understand how courts can go, hey, dude, this happened 20 years ago because she said so. You're going to jail the rest of your life. I'm not with either side. I'm saying, where's the proof? The onus of proof is not upon the person charged. They're presumed innocent till proven, there's your word, proven guilty. That's not because somebody said they did it. That's not proof. That's because somebody said something. It's called hearsay. Look it up. Y'all have Google now. I had the Encyclopedia Britannica. Damn good encyclopedias. So I don't know what's going on with the husband, but it does seem like I fixed the problem. Amen. I give that to the Lord. Cutting off too early. It was just stopping in the middle of my broadcast. Not that you're not probably praying it'll do that. I love music in the background. Got to start my day right. Just so everybody knows, I'm going to try to pop up here sometime between 12 and 2 every day. Get some things caught up. And then I might pull it back to Friday, Saturday only. We'll see how things go. I was surprised at how many viewers I had, and I was grateful for all of you. Love you guys. Throw a little love in there. God knows I could use it. But I'm standing up. I'm walking in there, and now I'm dancing. The song "Bye Bye Bye." I'm learning that the dance to that with Wolverine. I'm loving that. I was trying to do that with the leg was immobile. I'm in the bed. Also, I found another dance, a country dance. I like that. And I like John Travolta's dance that he does in the movie Michael. So I learned that as well. I said I gotta learn that. So I know his now. So and it seems to be helping better than my exercises that I have to do. Or Dale, my physical trainer. He's a nice guy, very nice guy. It's so tender. So I mean, when he's examining things, and sending me the X-ray, and so he's very tender, very sweet man. Two of his boys, one graduated from college, the other from high school. The second day from the last day I saw him, and the other boy won a tournament in golf, which was apparently very important. But I don't know my golf, so I couldn't say. And then because he does a 6 month rotation, we have an uptown VA, which is really a converted school. It looks like to me, and a lot of buildings. And then we have the downtown VA. Downtown is downtown Augusta, and then uptown is before you have to go to downtown. It's probably only about 5 more miles to the downtown location. So we're glad that they're finally starting to get this right so that you can go in and get tested, not have to go to 15th Street downtown. We hate downtown. I do anyway. And with Masters Week, oh my God. You really, I just have it delivered. I'm one of those. I mean, Walmart Plus and Kroger Plus. I have all of them just delivered. Yeah, they're both 2 miles from me, and yet there are days when I go, "Nah, I'll just have it delivered." I know there's a reason in there somewhere, but I'm not sure where that is. Yes, I tend to relight my cigarillo on occasion, and the reason I have my little stiffener. But I see my time is getting short, even without it cutting me off. So I hope that everybody has a good day out there. Throw something in those comments for me. I'd appreciate it. Also, I'm thinking of releasing clips of this to the company that wants me to kind of research garments. They gave me 10, they sent 10 free things to me to do this. And they're very, this is one of them. It's on a Chinese, as you can see, motif. It goes all the way down, and then the skirt turns into like this. But the slit is thigh high, and I'm really not that young. So we're going to go with this view. Because when I get off here, I'm going to change to work clothes because I have a lot to do. And when I was growing up, it was play clothes, school clothes. That's what you had. So you took all your good clothes off when you got home. I had to switch them out. I don't usually switch out. I have a friend that calls me Jim Cleaver because she used to see me all the time. I'd be cleaning, having vacuum, but I'd be wearing something that she said she would wear if she were going to dinner. So I do wear a lot of dresses. I wear a lot of floor length dresses now. It's summer like autumn, but it's because of the injury done to my leg and the surgery and all the cutting and so I tend to do it. I don't care for the way the leg looks still, so the reason to dress a little longer. And at my age, I don't really care for shorts. I'm not sure really how some people pull that off at my age, but it's not like I'm jumping in a bathing suit either. I could have lived in a bathing suit at 50, but now I'm looking around going, I'm good. I'm going to go into the air conditioning. You guys swim. Oh. I don't care what's going on, reunion or not. I'm in the R. I'm in the RV in the air. My husband did buy one of like it's like a Wonder Lodge, so that we can go places because it was at first real difficult for me to do anything. So that was very nice. It's big, big, big. You can live in it. It has the awning that comes out, and the middle of it, comes out, and it's much bigger. And I thought it was big before, and then he pulled that out. He surprised me on that one. He surprises me on a lot of things. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I can't tell. And so I guess my time is, like I said, nearly up. If there's something anybody wants to talk about, let me know. If anybody's got a good joke, I should start telling some jokes because I've heard some real loose jokes. Ronnie Reagan was great at this. Maybe I should steal some of his. Then I would end up dropping video. I see a lot of people do this, and they say that, they'll put the link down there for everybody to pick up. I'm like, you don't even need to do that because if you want to see it and you're not sure of the link, you can just type it in search. I mean, you haven't seen my husband since 1942. Did every telegraphs line up and shit? So your search engine is very thorough. You'll get a message back. Left you for another woman. AR at your I'm sorry, AI at your service. I mean, I bet there's a lot of women out there going, well, only if. Not me. That sucker hadn't showed up in a day. I'm good to go. I done been to one. Somewhere in there, folks, the lady hippie should show up. If there's any questions, throw them in them comments. I'll surely try to pick them up and answer them in the next day or that day if I can get to it. If there's any other content you'd like to see, again, let me know. I usually keep live chat on so I keep up with that, and I keep a second Chromebook so I type 145 words a minute, so it's easier for me to just keep up with live chat that way. Go ahead and subscribe. It turns out there is a big difference about that. I don't really know what that's about, but they like that. And then apparently, once I get to so many viewers, I can then make money. Again, I don't make money now, but I'm not averse to it. They didn't exactly say how many viewers I had to have or what I was going to have to do to make that money, but it's a start. Go out there, be happy, be healthy. Help if you can, stay out of the way if you can't. Au revoir.